This is a Swift Challenger 490 SE, going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got the hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. We'll take you through this in person here on site. In the front locker, you have your gas bottle with gas regulator on top of the gas valve on top of the bottle, so you turn the gas supply on and off on the valve on top. And then built into the pipework itself, you have the regulator in line. The pipework that goes into the bottle is a reverse thread fitment. In the side of the van, you've got your battery box and your mains power lead coming into the side of the van. That connects direct to the power on site. Each side of the van at the front, you've got a wind down leg to stabilise the caravan for when it is on site. The pump itself drops inside the act roll, as you can see here, and then the water pump locks into the side. Pump drops into the act roll, and the actual pump connection pushes into the side of the caravan just here. Trim heating vent on the side of the caravan. Very simple to use. You remove the cover. When you need to ignite the gas systems on board the van, you'd never ignite anything on gas without this cover being removed. The motor mover will demonstrate while you're here on site, and will also torque the wheel nuts to the correct setting while you're here as well, so you can see they have been done. You've then got your two grey waste pipes coming out the side of the caravan, and so the fresh water that goes in the front of the caravan has to come out somewhere, and they'll come out through these two grey pipes on the side of the van. Up above that you have the toilet locker. The toilet locker will very simply release. Toilet cassette will actually release by pushing down the yellow handle. You'll pull the cassette towards you. The neck here on top will turn out so you can tip the waste away. And at the back of the cassette, you've got your yellow pressure relief button on the back of the cassette, so when you're tipping the waste away, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. In that cassette, you'll need to put 1 litre of water and a capful of the blue fluid prior to use. In the top here, you put 3.5 litres of water and a capful of the blue fluid prior to use, and that is your flush tank for the toilet system itself. You need to make sure that has got fluid in it, and down the side here, you'll actually see a measure for that fluid. Back of the caravan on either side, again you've got your wind down legs, which you use for stabilising the caravan while you're on site, not lifting the caravan. Coming down the door side, you've got the fridge vents here on the side of the van, with the top one having a gas flue behind it. Then at the front of the caravan, you've got a storage locker for putting accessories in, and your last wind down leg on the front left hand side also. Going inside the caravan now. Above the door, you have your main power switches. So you'd need to, let me just wait for this to clear up slightly. So on the left hand side here, you'd need to have the main power on for your 12 volt systems to work on board the caravan. The two lights on the either side at the front of the caravan, the one you can see just in the left hand corner there, is actually run off the 240 system, so you'd need to make sure that them lights are turned off individually from the 12 volt system. With the act roll connected on the outside, and once you've got your main power turned on, you'd actually need to bleed your water system. So what you do is, you'll make sure the pump's turned off above the door to start with. Just turn that pump off. Sorry, you've got the entry light on here as well, the one for above the door on the outside, and the one above my head. And then you've got your battery voltage here, and your red indicator light to let you know when the water pump is running on board the caravan. So to fill the system, like I said, you'd have the pump off by the door. Make sure your act roll is connected on the outside, as we've just shown you. Open all the taps up on the hot side. As you can see, they're turned on at the moment. I'm just going to let the water run off there for a minute. And then underneath the seat on the front right hand side of the caravan, underneath that seat, you will actually notice that you've got a yellow drain down valve. That yellow drain down valve is the valve for draining down the water system. Now, to fill the water system up, you'd have that valve parallel with the floor. And to drain the system down, you'd have it upright, pointing towards the bottom of the seat. So like I said, to drain the system down, valve upright to the bottom of the seat, and to fill the system, parallel with the floor as it is now. So once it's parallel with the floor, and you've got your act roll connected on the outside, and you've got all of your taps open on the hot side, so that's the tap in the kitchen and the tap in the bathroom, you'll then be able to turn the water pump on above the door. So go back to the control panel above the door, and we'll turn the water pump on. Once the water pressure has built up, you will have water running continuously out of every tap on board the caravan. At that point, you can start thinking about warming the water on board the van. So you'd shut all of the taps back off once they're running continuously out of each, once the water's running continuously out of each tap. Then underneath the seat on the right hand side front of the van, you have your control panels for your heating and hot water. So on the right hand side here, or left hand side here, sorry, you have your electric water heater. So it says water heater just here. That is your electric water heater. So you turn that on there, and that will allow the water system to warm up on the electric. It is a preset temperature on the electric of around 35 to 40 degrees. To warm the water up on gas, you'd need to make sure the gas is turned on in the front locker. You'd go to the gas taps on the cooker, turn each gas tap on, and ignite it there for a few seconds, because that is the last point on the gas system. You'd then come back over to this control panel, flick this switch to the on position. Now the green light here is a pilot light. Just above it you have your red fail light. Now in a moment it will actually fail to ignite, just due to the fact I haven't actually got the gas turned on at the moment. As long as that green light stays on though, you can control the water temperature between 30 and 70 degrees. Whichever numbers above the green light, so as you can see here, the 50, is the temperature the water heater will warm up to on gas. To turn the gas off, you simply put it back to the off position just here. On the right hand side here, you actually have your heating for the caravan. So to get the heating to come on, you need to make sure the power switch is on at the bottom. And then above it, you have your controls for controlling the amount of power you're going to use on the heater. So what you set this to depends on the caravan site you're on. They may say at the site you're on that you have 500 or 2000 watts of power available, or one of these three essentially they'll have. Then you can select the correct power supply that you have coming into the caravan and turn the heater on. You'll then be able to control the temperature heater on the dial in the center here. So whatever numbers above the light is the temperature the heater is going to warm up to. To turn the heater back off on electric, you can flick the switch off there and hit the switch there if you want to isolate the power completely. On top of the heater, you have your option to run the heater on gas. So to do that, you very simply spin this dial round on the right hand side to between 10 and 9. Press down the gas valve, and the little window down the front here, around a 45-degree angle from the floor, so coming up, you'll have a pilot light. Once that pilot light is lit, you'll continue to hold down the gas valve for a further 5 to 10 seconds, then slowly release the valve and you'll be able to control the temperature of the heater on the dial on top. To turn the gas supply back off, you spin it to the off position just here. Now on this caravan as well, you've got blown air heating, so you'll notice the little white vents around the front of the caravan. Now they work very similar to your heating in your car. So essentially this switch here that you'll see that's currently on the dot will allow the heat to come out the front of the heater if it's on that dot. Continuous blown air out the vents around the caravan is on the left hand side, so now the heat will be coming out them vents. And if you want to control the fan speed, you have a dial on top. On the right hand side, you have an auto cut off. So essentially what that will do is when the caravan warms up to the correct temperature, the blown air heating will cut out. So it's basically a thermostatic blown air. Again, you can control the fan speed on the dial on top. For overnight use, I would never recommend using it on gas all night in case the gas ever went out for any reason. It shouldn't ever do that, and it should vent to the outside of the caravan. Just be on the safe side. I would advise you use electric heating overnight. Going to go to the fridge next. The fridge is very simple to use. You have mains power on this switch here. You have the off position at the top. You've then got mains power, and your temperature control on mains is on the right hand side here. You've then got 12 volt mode. Now 12 volt mode essentially means the fridge will work as a cool box as you're towing down the road. You can turn all of the switches off above the door, come inside the caravan and select the battery option just here. On the battery option, like I said, it is just a cool box. It will not completely chill the fridge or freeze the compartment at the top. However, it will just keep the beers, wine and the tonic water nice and cold. At the bottom here, you've got the option to run gas. Now, to ignite the system on gas, you'll press the temperature button in, and when it has ignited, you'll actually have an orange light in here, which is your pilot light for the gas system for the fridge. Turn the fridge back off, you spin it all the way to the off position at the top here, and it will isolate the power supply to the fridge completely. Cooker, hob and grill all work very much like your household appliances, with an igniter on the front, as you can see. Last thing we go through on this particular caravan is the toilet system. Now in the centre of the toilet you have a black flap that you can see at the moment. When I open up or turn this handle just here, the toilet will actually flush, but it will also allow me to open and shut the waste flap in the centre there. So to flush the toilet, you press the button down and that makes the pump flush. So that is the toilet system on board the van. Down the front of the toilet system you actually have this green symbol just here. If that ever goes red, it means the toilet waste cassette on board the caravan is completely full. However, we do recommend you just keep an eye on it by having a look down inside the hole. If you have any further questions on the Swift Challenger 490, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'll be more than happy to help. We appreciate the business and we look forward to seeing you here on site soon when you collect your caravan. Thank you for now. Bye bye.